Good morning students, I welcome you all for the online class of economics. Today we will be continuing with the same chapter that we were learning, that is deficient demand and excess demand. Let us proceed with the chapter. When we learned student deficient demand and excess demand, we already learned that how we will get struck equilibrium, what is full employment, what is involuntary unemployment, and what is voluntary unemployment also we have even learned. What is needed for this type of employment, what are the facts, why it is to be done, we have learnt very clearly. Let us have the further explanation of the topic so that we can more learn about the deficient demand. So today's topic is deficient demand only, how it occurs, situations of deficient demand. Let us have, before that I want to explain one of the unemployment, that is the frictional unemployment and structural unemployment. That is very important part, because unemployment, we never know that so many types of unemployments were there. Okay, now we will be proceeding that so many types of unemployments are there. Very first is the we have learned natural rate of unemployment, then we are proceeding with the frictional unemployment, and then we will be proceeding to the structural unemployment. Frictional unemployment, when we proceed more students, in the words of Gardner, I already explained yesterday class, frictional employment is that employment associated with the changing of jobs in dynamic economy. Okay, what the changes it happens in the dynamic economy, according to that the unemployment arises, it is known as frictional unemployment. It arises due to immobility of labor, shortage of raw materials, lack of information regarding opportunities of employment, shortage of power, wear and tear of machines, tendency of the workers to move from one job to another, such of remunerative job, etc. That will be known as frictional. Means people, when they wander from place to get jobs, like one place they are doing the job, then want more to get somewhere from somewhere else, they leave this job. This is known as frictional unemployment. Frictional unemployment is associated with the changing of jobs in dynamic economy. Okay, maybe the shortage of power, people have been removed from the job, wear and tear of machines, and now the machines, in place of 10 machines, now the 8 machines only working. So the people who were working the other 2 machines, their number has been decreased. That is known as frictional unemployment. Structural unemployment, when we see it is structure of the organization, when it is reduced, then that type of unemployment is known as structural unemployment. When other factors of production like capital, land, etc. are in shortage, when laborers are trained in old and decaying industries and are well equipped in the ill-equipped for new emerging industries, and when there is change in the production technique, then it is known as structural unemployment. We have to change the number of employed peoples. Deficient demand, when we see student a situation of underemployment equilibrium, deficient demand refers to that situation when aggregate demand is short of aggregate supply, corresponding to full employment in the economy. Aggregate demand less than aggregate supply corresponding to full employment, it implies two things. Plant aggregate demand is short of its full employment level, it does not permit production at the full employment level. Aggregate supply being perfectly elastic, it covers the with aggregate demand at a lower level of output GDP, lower than the full employment level of output in the economy. If you have not understood what it is saying, deficient demand when it get decreased, there are so many factors. Deficient demand, when the supply is not full, when the supply is more than the aggregate demand, it is known as deficient demand. Demand, why it is not equivalent to supply, or it is not more than the supply? There are some reasons which we have learnt in these 2 lines. When your plant aggregate demand is short of its full employment level, means people don't want demand that much is needed. Full employment level also people don't demand. At a lower level of output GDP, lower than the full employment level of output in the economy, people not demands. There are so many factors, student, when aggregate demand being not fully demanded. Plant aggregate demand is short of its full employment level. It is saying that only when people don't demand. Maybe the reason this frictional unemployment, maybe the reason the structural unemployment. These are the reason when the people demand also falls down. So that's why I have learned the underemployment topic, and then we are proceeding with the aggregate demand reasons of deficiency. So planned aggregate demand is saying that only it's short of its full employment level. It does not permit the production at full employment level. Okay. And aggregate supply being elastic, it converges with aggregate demand at a large level of output GDP, lower than the full employment level of output in the economy, then also aggregate demand become deficient. Okay. Consequently, there is underemployment equilibrium in the economy. Owing to deficient aggregate demand, equilibrium between desired aggregate demand and desired aggregate supply is struck at a lower level of GDP, lower than full employment in the economy. This is a situation of underemployment equilibrium. Illustration 1 illustrates the situation of deficient demand and underemployment equilibrium. Let us proceed with that. You can see there this diagram where the income Y is shown in the x-axis and the aggregate demand AD has been shown in the y-axis. Okay, now with what we line? First income line, as I said, Y line you have to draw. That is income line 45 degree. Okay, that is the expenditure. Now you draw the line of the deficient demand and the consumption aggregate demand. Deficient demand, it is showing how much the deficiency is there in the demand from the upper level. Underemployment equilibrium and full employment level, you can see where the graph equilibrium is struck, there is underemployment equilibrium, and after crossing the equilibrium it is full employment equilibrium declared. Why so? ADF shows aggregate demand corresponding to full employment, as I already said, the line G, okay, which is showing aggregate demand full employment. Aggregate demand ADU shows aggregate demand corresponding to underemployment in the economy. FC is a vertical difference between aggregate demand full employment and aggregate demand underemployment. It measures the extent of which aggregate demand is deficient. If the desired aggregate demand is ADU, then the equilibrium is struck at point number Q. Okay, if the demand curve is this line, if you see, only the demand curve is this line. So equilibrium is where struck. This is the income line, and this is the aggregate demand line. It is struck here, so equilibrium is gained here. Okay, but if the demand curve is this one, aggregate demand, this is the income line. So what you will be seeing there? There the aggregate demand line will be that upper line. Okay, equilibrium is struck at point number F. So that is the difference. ON is equilibrium output corresponding to the underemployment equilibrium. OM is equilibrium output corresponding to full employment equilibrium. The desired level of aggregate demand for full employment output is indicated by ADF, and ADU indicates underemployment level of aggregate demand. The vertical difference between aggregate demand full employment and aggregate demand underemployment showed deficiency of demand for achieving full employment. Deficiency of demand equals to FC. Because of this deficiency, there is underemployment equilibrium in the economy at point number Q, where aggregate demand underemployment intersect 45 degree line. Deflationary gap and its measurement. We have discussed that deficient demand is a situation of underemployment equilibrium. It is a situation when resources are not fully utilized and there is excess capacity in the economy. Means still we can use the capacity of the economy and can increase the supply as per the demand. But because deficiency is there in the demand, we are not supplying as much the full employment we can utilize. The economy starts slipping into a situation of deflation. Definitely, when in the deficiency demand, we can first factor is there, that is deflation. Income of the people is declined, because of that demand also less. Income of the people is less, because of that there is demanding less. So we have discussed deflationary gap is the shortfall of aggregate demand from the level required to maintain full employment equilibrium in the economy. In such a situation, student, there is involuntary unemployment in the economy. Means people want to work, but they are not getting the job, and because of that, if they are not having the job, can you think there is no income? No income is there. When income is not there, definitely demand will not be there, because in the last chapter we have learned aggregate demand is having a relationship with Y. When Y increases, aggregate demand increases. Autonomous consumption, we know autonomous consumption is there, but that will be also at a certain level. Aggregate demand is totally dependent on Y income. When income will be there, definitely aggregate demand will be there in a continuous period of time, and aggregate demand will increase as relation to aggregate income. So deflationary gap is existing just because people are unemployed, and when people are unemployed there will be no source of income, and when there is no source of income definitely aggregate demand cannot be formed. So definitely there will be deficiency in the aggregate demand in the economy. Deflationary gap is measured the difference between desired aggregate demand corresponding to full employment and desired aggregate demand corresponding to underemployment. This is equal to GK in figure number 2. The points to a situation where the factors of production not fully employed and the economy is operating in a situation of underemployment equilibrium. Deficiency of aggregate demand is the root cause behind this situation. Now we can see there deficient demand and deflationary gap, aggregate demand, full employment minus aggregate demand, underemployment. When we see, we will get the GK. Okay. Causes and consequences of deficient demand. Worst factor we have learned already. Worst cause is underemployment. When people are unemployed, definitely their income is zero and they cannot demand. So that will be a reason of deficient demand. Another is there when the income is not increasing parallel to the prices of the product. Then also people will be deficient demand will be there when prices of the product is high and people income is very less. In that situation, what will be there? The people will not demand the goods when the income is not equal to price of the product. Causes in a two-sector closed economy means producer sector and consumption sector. When we see deficiency of aggregate demand occurs largely due to two factors. Very first factor says reduction in private consumption expenditure. C. Private consumption expenditure is an important component of aggregate demand. Reduction in private consumption expenditure causes a serious deficiency in aggregate demand. Private consumption expenditure may reduce owing to several reasons. However, the most important is reduction in prosperity to consume or increase in prosperity to save. In advanced economies, increase in marginal propensity to saving may occur simply because consumption is at its peak. Definitely, student, what the last line is saying, when people are satisfied, they consume as much they want. Now also they will be consumed, but now they will be developing a habit of savings also. That time it is said when the consumption is at its peak, means at the highest level. Definitely the people satisfaction level will get to a level, high level, and that time it will start declining because people will develop, instead of consumption they will develop a habit of savings also. And when people think about the savings, they will not do the consumption as per the income increase. What will be there? Deficiency in demand will be there. Why deficiency in demand is arising? Because people don't want to demand more goods, they want to develop the habit of saving towards to make investment is most productive offer. So reduction in private consumption expenditure is also known as is reason of aggregate demand falls down. Now the reduction in investment expenditure. Investment expenditure is the other important component of aggregate demand. Any reduction in investment expenditure implies a reduction in aggregate demand. Investment expenditure may reduce in situation of poor business expectations. It happened in all market economies of the world in the year 2009. So reduction in investment expenditure, why it happens, student? Investment expenditure is the other important component of aggregate demand, which says any reduction in investment expenditure implies a reduction in aggregate demand. Investment expenditure may reduce in which situation? Poor business expectation. People will stop doing investment as the share prices will fall down. Definitely people will not do investment in the shares of the companies. Gold is not giving benefit to them. Definitely when the prices of gold is too high, they will not be investing in gold also. So if the investment will fall down, aggregate demand will also falls down. In a fourth sector open economy, beside the above stated two factors, the company factors may also contribute to the deficiency of aggregate demand, which shows reduction in government expenditure. Government had also, when their revenue is not equal to the demand or the expenditure what they want to do, definitely they will demand less. Government expenditure is of vital significance in welfare economics. However, there could be situation when public enterprise pile up huge losses owing to their inefficiencies. In such situation, instead of making fresh investment, the government may resort to disinvestment. Withdrawal of investment by selling its stake to the private entrepreneurs. This lead to the fall in aggregate demand. Decline in exports X. Decline in export may occur due to the lack of Demand of rest of the world. We know exports are an important component of aggregate demand. A full export implies a situation, a fall in expenditure on the domestically produced goods and services. Definitely, student, when the export will be export prices will go down, definitely demand will also go down. More exports, when the quality of the export is not good, then only the prices go down. When quality is not good, people will demand less. When what we will see, aggregate demand is going down. So this is also a reason of deficiency in demand. Decline in export may occur due to lack of demand in rest of the world. We know exports are important component of aggregate demand. So if foreign countries will not demand the goods of our country, definitely there will be aggregate demand less. Rise in imports. If our country people will be dependent on more on the foreign goods, definitely our goods demand will be lowered down. So imports may rise even international prices are lower than the domestic price. We know imports are a negative component of aggregate demand or GDP. Accordingly, a rise in import leads to a fall in aggregate demand. Students, when the people thinks they are getting a cheap rate, the laptops, mobiles and the other electric appliances from foreign countries, they demand from the foreign countries. What we are seeing in our country, the electric appliances are there, that is not sold. So aggregate demand of our country product will fall down. Increase in tax rate, definitely like GST and other taxes when applied, people stop consumption at that level what they were doing earlier before these tax rates. So increase in tax rate leaves lesser disposable income with the people. It reduces the capacity to spend even when their propensity to spend remains the same. Lower disposable income means lower level of aggregate demand. Briefly, we can say that deficiency of demand or deflationary gap reflects a reduction in aggregate demand to a point lower than the full employment level. It is indicated by a downward shift in aggregate demand function. The possible reasons are a reduction in C, a reduction in I, a reduction in G, a reduction in X, and a rise in imports. What is M? Imports. What is X? Exports. What is G? Government. And what is C? Consumption expenditure. And what is I? That is the producer investment, that is known as I. So when there is a reduction in all types of expenditure of our country people, like consumption, investment, government expenditure and export, and rise is there in the import, definitely we will face with a situation of deficient demand. So this was for today's class. Remember all the points. Next class we will see what are the consequences or the results of this deficient demand and what will be the impact on our GDP growth. Okay, thank you for today's class. Have a nice day.